All right, let's kick things off. Think about your day. How many times do you pick up your smartphone? Probably a lot, right? These devices are practically glued to our hands, and what makes them so indispensable? Apps. Mobile applications have fundamentally changed how we live, work, and play. From the moment we wake up with an alarm app, to navigating our commute, to ordering food or catching up on news, it's all driven by these little pieces of software. This isn't just a trend, it's a full-blown digital revolution, and apps are leading the charge. Billions of people worldwide own smartphones, and each of those phones is a gateway to an almost infinite world of applications. Think about it, there's an app for practically everything. This constant need and desire for new, innovative, and useful mobile experiences creates an incredible landscape for anyone interested in building them. Now consider this from a business perspective. Having a mobile app is no longer a luxury, it's almost a necessity. Companies, big and small, are realizing that apps are powerful tools for direct engagement with their customers. An app can provide a personalized experience, offer loyalty rewards, streamline customer service, and even open up new sales channels. This shift means there's a constant demand for skilled mobile app developers who can bring these business visions to life. And here's the really exciting part. The potential for innovation is virtually limitless. If you have a unique idea, a solution to a common problem, or even a new take on an existing concept, mobile app development offers a platform to bring it to the world. With the right skills and tools, an individual or a small team can develop and launch an app that reaches a global audience. It's your chance to build something amazing. Okay, so you're thinking about diving into app development, smart move, but where do you start? Well, the mobile world is largely dominated by two major players. You've definitely heard of them, Android and iPhone. These aren't just phone brands, they represent entire ecosystems, each with its own operating system, development tools, and app store. Android, powered by Google and iOS, the heart of Apple's iPhones, command the vast majority of the global smartphone market. Understanding the nuances of these two platforms is pretty crucial for any aspiring mobile developer. They each have their own strengths, their own user bases, and their own set of rules for developers. Let's break down Android first. Android is known for its open nature. It's open source, which means manufacturers like Samsung, Google, with their Pixel phones, OnePlus, and many others can take the core Android system and customize it for their devices. This results in a huge variety of phones and tablets at all different price points. For developers, this means a massive potential user base. Android has the largest global market share. However, this diversity also presents a challenge. You need to ensure your app works well across a wide array of screen sizes, resolutions, and hardware capabilities. Then we have the iPhone running iOS. Unlike Android, iOS is a closed ecosystem. Apple designs both the hardware, the iPhone, iPad, and the software, iOS. This tight integration often leads to a very smooth and consistent user experience, which is a hallmark of Apple products. Developing for iOS means targeting a premium audience that values design and performance. So, you're ready to start building apps. Awesome. But you can't just type code into a plain text file and expect magic. You need a proper workshop, a digital command center. This is where integrated development environments, or IDEs, come in. Think of an IDE as your ultimate coding cockpit. It's a software application that bundles all the essential tools a developer needs into one convenient package. This includes a code editor, a debugger to squash those pesky bugs, and tools to build and run your app. For Android development, the undisputed champion is Android Studio. This is Google's official IDE, tailor-made for building Android apps. It's incredibly powerful and packed with features designed specifically for the Android platform. Android Studio is based on IntelliJ IDEA, a popular Java IDE, so it's robust and well supported. It comes with a fantastic layout editor for designing your app's screens visually, advanced code completion to help you write faster, and a built-in emulator to test your apps on various virtual devices. Now, if you're setting your sights on the iPhone and the Apple ecosystem, then Xcode is your weapon of choice. Xcode is Apple's official IDE, and just like Android Studio for Android, it's the all-in-one solution for developing apps for iOS, macOS, watchOS, and tvOS. One key thing to remember, Xcode only runs on Macs, so if you're serious about iOS development, you'll need access to an Apple computer. Xcode offers a sophisticated interface, powerful debugging tools, and interface builder for crafting your user interfaces. Whichever path you choose, Android or iOS, getting comfortable with your IDE is super important. It's the foundation of your app building empire. Alright, you've got your fancy IDE. What's next? You need the actual building materials for your app. This is where software development kits, or SDKs, step in. Imagine you're building with Legos. An SDK is like a giant Lego set specifically designed for creating, say, a spaceship or a castle. In the app world, an SDK provides developers with a collection of software tools and libraries that allow them to build applications for a specific platform, like Android or iOS. For Android, you'll be working with the Android SDK. This kit is a treasure trove. It includes a vast set of libraries that give your app access to the phone's hardware features, think camera, GPS, accelerometer, and more. It also provides a debugger for troubleshooting, emulators to test your app on different Android versions and screen sizes without needing a physical device for every single one, and comprehensive documentation to guide you. Similarly, for iPhone app development, you'll use the iOS SDK. This is bundled with Xcode. Apple's SDK provides a rich set of frameworks like UIKit for building user interfaces, and Cocoa Touch, which offers fundamental infrastructure for iOS apps. These frameworks give you pre-built components and functionalities, buttons, sliders, navigation controllers, and access to services like iCloud, Apple Pay, and HealthKit. The iOS SDK is designed to help you create apps that look and feel native to the Apple ecosystem, ensuring a smooth and consistent user experience. It's also super important to keep your SDKs up to date. Both Google and Apple regularly release updates to their SDKs. These updates often include support for new operating system features, performance improvements, bug fixes, and new APIs, application programming interfaces, that let you do even more cool stuff with your apps. Using the latest SDK ensures your app can take advantage of the newest technologies and remains compatible with the latest devices and OS versions. So, make it a habit to check for updates. Beyond the core IDE and SDK, there are a few more tools and considerations that can seriously level up your app development game. First up, let's talk about version control. You absolutely need it. The most popular system by far is Git, often used with platforms like GitHub or GitLab. Think of Git as a super-powered undo button for your entire project, but it's much more than that. It allows you to save snapshots of your code at different stages. So if something breaks, you can easily roll back. It's also essential for collaborating with other developers. Start using Git from day one. Next, let's touch on design. Even if you're not a designer, having some basic design tools and an eye for user experience or UX will make a huge difference. Tools like Figma, Sketch, Mac-Only, or Adobe XD are fantastic for creating mock-ups and prototypes of your app before you write a single line of code. Planning out your app's flow, how users will navigate it, and what it will look like is crucial. A well-designed app is much more likely to be successful. Then there's the matter of testing. While IDEs come with emulators for Android and simulators for iOS, which are great for quick checks, you'll also want to test on actual physical devices. Emulators and simulators are good, but they don't perfectly replicate every aspect of a real device, like network conditions or specific hardware quirks. Having at least one target Android phone and one iPhone for testing is highly recommended. Finally, a quick word on your own hardware. You'll need a reasonably modern computer. Being prepared with the right gear will make your development journey much smoother and less frustrating. Alright, let's get our hands dirty. First things first, you need the main tool for Android development. That tool is Android Studio. Think of it as your mission control for building apps. The best part, it's completely free. You just need to head over to the official Android developer website. Look for the Android Studio download page. It's pretty easy to find. Google and the Android team have done a solid job making this accessible. This is where your Android app journey truly begins with this essential piece of software. Once you find the download page, you'll see options for different operating systems. Whether you're on Windows, Mac, or Linux, there's a version for you. Click that download button. Now, a heads up, the file is pretty big, we're talking a couple of gigabytes, so you might need a decent internet connection and a bit of patience. After the download finishes, just run the installer. It's a standard installation process. Follow the on-screen prompts, click next a few times, and let it do its thing. After the installation wraps up, it's time to launch Android Studio for the first time. Section 2, your first Android project. Hello world. Fire up Android Studio and start a new project. Choose the empty activity template. Name your app, select a package name, and pick Java or Kotlin. Hit finish, and Android Studio will set up your project. You'll see the main interface with the project view on the left. Section 3, crafting the look designing your first screen. Let's start by shaping what our app will actually look like. Open the layout editor to design your app's screens. Use the design view for a visual representation. You can also switch to code or split view. Start with the design view for an intuitive UI. The visual design translates into XML code. Understanding this connection is crucial. Section 4, bringing it to life running your app. You've set up Android Studio and created a project. Now run your app. Use an emulator for quick testing, or test on a real device. Enjoy your success. Section 1, gearing up for iOS, Xcode and your Mac. Alright, so you've seen how things work on the Android side. Now let's switch gears and talk about building apps for iPhones. You're going to need a Mac. Yes, an Apple computer. Xcode, the primary tool, only runs on macOS. Download Xcode from the Mac App Store. It's packed with features, but you'll get the hang of it. Keep Xcode updated to leverage the latest Apple innovations. Ready to create your first iOS project? Open Xcode, click Create a new Xcode project. Select the iOS tab and choose the app template. Name your project and choose SwiftUI. Click Create. Xcode sets up your project. Explore the main Xcode window. Start coding with SwiftUI. So, you've got your first iOS project set up with SwiftUI. Let's dive into. This is where the visual part of your app, its first screen, is defined. Open it up if it's not already. You should see some Swift code. With SwiftUI, you describe your UI using declarative syntax. This means you say what you want to see, not necessarily how to draw it step by step. You'll probably see some default code that includes a view, maybe saying Hello World. This view is SwiftUI's equivalent of Android's. It's how you display text on the screen. On the right side of the editor, you might see a live preview canvas. This is one of the coolest features of Xcode when working with SwiftUI. It shows you what your UI looks like in real time as you type code. If you don't see it, look for a button that says Resume or an Adjust Editor Options button. Often looks like lines and sliders, to enable the canvas. This immediate feedback loop is incredibly helpful. You change some code, and boom, the preview updates. It makes designing interfaces much faster and more interactive. It's like having a little helper showing you the results of your work instantly. Let's change that default text. Find the line that looks something like, just like we did in Android Studio. You can modify this. Change the string inside the quotation marks to something new. How about Hello Swift World or My Awesome iOS App? As you type, you should see the preview canvas update to reflect your changes. It's that simple to modify basic text. SwiftUI is designed to be very readable. You're literally telling the system, I want some text and this is what it should say. It's quite elegant once you get used to it. You can do more than just change the text. SwiftUI uses things called modifiers to change the appearance or behavior of views. These are like functions that you chain onto your views. For example, to make the text larger, you could add after your view, so it would look like. To change the color, you could add experiment a bit. Try adding different modifiers. The live preview will show you the effects immediately. This hands-on experimentation is a fantastic way to learn SwiftUI's capabilities and how to style your app's interface. You've created your project and tweaked your first SwiftUI view. Now let's run it like a real app. Xcode uses simulators, virtual iPhones, or iPads on your Mac. Select a simulator from the scheme selector. Click the Run button. Xcode builds your project and launches the simulator. Your app installs and runs on the virtual iPhone. Congratulations, you've built and run your first iOS app. So, you're fired up, building apps for Android and iOS. That's fantastic. But the path of a developer is often sprinkled with a few sneaky traps. Think of it like a maze. Knowing where the dead ends are can save you a ton of time and frustration. One of the biggest pitfalls right at the start is scope creep. This is when your simple app idea starts growing more and more features before you've even mastered the basics. Suddenly, your Hello World app wants to integrate with smart fridges. It's exciting to have big ideas, but try to keep your initial projects focused and manageable. Build, learn, then expand. Let's make your apps not just functional but enjoyable. User experience or UX design is key. Make your app easy, intuitive, and pleasant. Think about your favorite apps. Navigation is clear, buttons are where you expect them. Strive for clarity and simplicity. Focus on core tasks and platform guidelines. Optimize assets, compress images, and cache data. Test on real devices and network conditions. A well-tested app ensures the best user experience. So, you've made it through this guide. That's a pretty big step. You've seen the landscape of mobile app development, from understanding the Android and iPhone ecosystems, to setting up your digital workbenches with Android Studio and Xcode. You've even walked through building those first, simple applications. That feeling of seeing your code actually do something on a screen? That's where the spark really ignites. Remember that feeling. It's important. This whole journey is a marathon, not a quick sprint, but you've successfully navigated the starting blocks, and that's a fantastic foundation to build upon. You've got the basics. Now let's be real. The path ahead won't always be smooth. You're going to hit roadblocks. There will be bugs that make you want to pull your hair out. Code that worked perfectly yesterday might mysteriously break today. That's just part of the game. Every single developer, from rookies to seasoned pros, goes through this. The key is persistence. Don't let these challenges discourage you. Instead, try to see them as puzzles to be solved. Each bug squashed, each problem overcome makes you a stronger, more capable developer. It's about building resilience alongside your coding skills. Keep pushing. The best way to solidify what you've learned, and to keep learning, is to build. Just keep building stuff. Start with small, manageable projects. Don't try to build the next Instagram on your second attempt. Maybe try a simple to-do list app, or a basic calculator, or an app that displays your favorite quotes. Each project will teach you something new. You'll encounter different problems, explore new APIs, and refine your understanding of how apps are structured. The more you code, the more intuitive it becomes. Practice really does make perfect, or at least much better in this field. And here's the really cool part. The rewards are totally worth the effort. There's an incredible satisfaction in bringing an idea from your mind into a tangible app that people can use. Imagine creating something that solves a real problem for someone, or entertains them, or just makes their day a little bit easier. That creative outlet is powerful. Plus, the skills you're building are incredibly valuable in today's tech-driven world. Whether you dream of launching your own viral app, joining an innovative tech company, or just building cool things for fun, you're on the right track. The power to create is now, quite literally, at your fingertips. So you're eager to keep learning and growing. That's the spirit. This guide was just a starting point. Luckily, the internet is overflowing with amazing resources to help you on your developer odyssey. Think about official documentation first. Both Google's Android developer site and Apple's developer site are treasure troves. They have detailed guides, API references, design guidelines, and the latest news. These should be your go-to sources for the most accurate and up-to-date information. Bookmark them. Seriously. They are indispensable for any serious mobile app developer. Beyond official docs, there's a universe of online courses and tutorials. Platforms like Udemy, Coursera, Udacity, FreeCodeCamp, and even YouTube are packed with content for all skill levels. You can find courses that dive deep into specific aspects of Android or iOS development, Swift, Kotlin, UI, UX design, and so much more. Look for courses with good reviews and instructors who match your learning style. Many offer hands-on projects, which are fantastic for practical experience. These structured learning paths can really accelerate your progress and help you understand more complex topics. Don't be afraid to invest in your education, and please don't try to learn in a vacuum. The developer community is one of your greatest assets. Websites like Stack Overflow are legendary for finding answers to tricky coding questions. Chances are, if you're stuck on something, someone else has been too, and there's a solution waiting for you. Join online forums and communities. Reddit has active subreddits like r/Androidev and r/iOS programming, where developers share news, ask questions, and help each other out. GitHub isn't just for version control, it's a place to explore open source projects, learn from others' code and even contribute. Engage, ask, and share. Finally, remember that the world of mobile technology is always moving, always evolving. New OS versions come out every year. New devices with new capabilities are constantly being released. New frameworks and tools emerge. So a big part of being a mobile developer is committing to lifelong learning. Embrace this. Stay curious, follow tech blogs, subscribe to newsletters, and keep experimenting with new things. The journey you've started is incredibly dynamic and full of opportunity. Keep coding, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep creating amazing things. The future is in your hands.